what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Frank Mularcik, and in this video we're going to be looking at my options account and looking at some of the mistakes I've been making and some of the things I'm trying to learn and improve upon my options trading.
If you find value in my videos, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on future content. This is Frank Mularcik.
So if you guys have been following along for a while, you'll remember that the account started around $5,000, and if we look at the account right now, unfortunately it's below 4,000 at around 3,700 right now, and there's definitely been some major mistakes made along the way, which I've talked about a little bit in the past, but wanted to talk about that some more today. So right now, if we kind of look at the different trades I'm making, majority of the trades I have on now are these credit spreads. So I have some trades on PayPal and Square, Home Depot, and JP Morgan. This Home Depot one I just put on today. And then I also have some sort of covered calls. So I bought this long call on MJ, which is a cannabis ETF, a few months ago. And I was sort of wanting to, it looked like it was at a good price initially, and then I figured I would start selling calls against that. And we'll look in the spreadsheet sort of how much money I've actually made off of that. But you know, overall, sort of been a losing position, since you can see how the actual value of the long call is down a lot. So that's not too helpful. And then also right now I do own 100 shares of SoFi at an average price of $7 per share, and I'm just selling covered calls against that right now. I'm kind of wheeling it a little bit, and so far that has actually been working fairly well for me. So that's kind of, you know, the different strategies I'm employing right now. We can look here over the past month, even the past 3 months, it's been pretty much flat. But when we look out to the year and all time, pretty much down about 25% all time. Which is very unfortunate for sure, but this is definitely a learning experience. I did not expect it to be easy. It certainly felt a little bit easy at the beginning because of, you know, the nature of the market at that point in time, but you know, now I'm sort of experiencing a little bit of a downturn, lots of increases in volatility and some other things there. So definitely some tricky scenarios happening recently, but it's a good learning experience, and you know, I definitely don't need this money anytime soon, so it's not really like I'm trying to live on this or anything, so I'm trying not to, you know, worry about the losses. But so if we kind of look into the spreadsheet to see some of the positions, the spreadsheet definitely doesn't do the best job, and I haven't put much work into this spreadsheet for sure. But the one thing we could look at, so there's a few credit spreads that I've rolled a few times. So if we look here at this Square, for example, I rolled it from an earlier credit spread around here. So if we want to, you know, calculate what our break even would be, basically I rolled it down and out. So I rolled it from the 95.90 strikes to the 92.585. So the strikes are lower, theoretically safer, and but the gap is wider, so there's more risk there. So you know, the first trade we did, we collected $95, and then when I closed it out, I paid back $260. So that's about a loss of $165 there, if I'm doing that correctly. I think that should be right, 165. And then when I sold this next one here, I sold it for 346. So that gets me from, if we actually pull up the calculator just to make it a little bit easier, so we collected 95 initially, and then we bought it back for 160, and then we collected 346. So that means we have to buy it back for under 181 in order to be profitable on that one. And right now, if we look at the position, it's, you know, probably in like the 500 range. So this one, not sure, might have to roll it again, might have to take a loss. Square, honestly, I just need to stop trading Square. I said I was going to do that like a few months ago, and I did not, because I thought, oh, it's down a lot more, so it'll be fine. But it just keeps going down. And it just has these days where it's like down 5% in a day, up 5% in a day. I guess it's called block now, but I guess I'm not used to that. So it'll be up 5 or 10% a day, then down 5 or 10% in a day. And it's just all over the place and really crazy. And need to get out of it, especially with credit spreads. When there's a lot of increasing volatility, that really doesn't help with credit spreads. And also PayPal, sort of a similar situation to Square. I guess not as bad on that one. JP Morgan, again, another similar situation, but this one is coming back a little bit, but I still have a long way to go in order to actually be profitable on the overall trade. But hopefully that can happen, and hopefully, these are all my, well, I guess this credit spread is June 3rd, so I might, just buy this one back at some point and, take a little bit of a loss on the overall trade, but get out of it before we get a little bit closer to expiration. Because if we look at the calendar, June 3rd is basically 2 weeks away, so I kind of want to get rid of that before we get much closer to expiration. And the good thing though with JP Morgan is we are like, both of the options are out of the money at this point, which is good for sure. But that's something I might consider, is just buying that back and taking an overall loss on the position, just not as big as it was before. So definitely something I'm considering there. And then like I was saying with the MJ position, just down a lot on that, which is definitely sad to see. And I think beta is eating away at this a little bit more than I thought it would, to be honest. Even though it's not going to expire for another 7 months, but it is what it is. And I think I have been making some profits on the short calls. I can actually show that in the spreadsheet. Well, actually, if we go in here, and these sum if functions are super great. So what we can do is we can say that, well, one thing I might actually try doing right now is just making a filter. See if I can do that. If it doesn't work right now, then we will just do the sum if formula. Let's see, create a filter. And then if we do ticker here, then we can find MJ, basically add all these up. And I actually did this a few times where I basically accidentally bought a call instead of selling a covered call. So just lost some additional money there, which is kind of annoying. So if we add up all these premiums that we received, so we had 11, and let me just highlight all of these in this row right here. So 11, 15, 30, 15, 15, and then we bought back for 14, 5, 15, and 5. That means we're up like $47 than whatever we buy this next one back for, which will probably be another 5 or so. So let's just say we buy it back for 5. Means we have profit on the selling calls of $42 compared to losing like $250 on the long call. So still a long way from breaking even there. And MJ has just keeps going down and down and down. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Maybe it'll recover at some point and we'll be able to recover some of those losses. But if not, that will be unfortunate. But that is how it goes. And also the thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit was just along with volatility, the thing I find difficult with spreads is just being able to roll them out is a little bit difficult. Because if you're thinking of a cash secured put, what you can do is, you just sell puts at, prices that you wouldn't mind owning the companies at. And that's what I did there with SoFi. Like I thought $7 was a great price for SoFi. So I sold a put at the $7 strike and I got assigned. And I actually got some fairly good premium for it. And I got assigned, and then now I'm selling covered calls at the 750 strike, and getting good premium for that as well. And I also sold a put on Palantir at the $8 strike that didn't get assigned, but that's also a price I wouldn't mind buying Palantir at. So that's the advantages of cash secured puts in my eyes, is that if it goes against you, you can, one, just roll it out, but two, you can also just take assignment and then just sell covered calls, or own those shares and just have the benefits of owning the shares of that company. But with credit spreads, it's kind of like when it gets to the expiration, you either need to do something or you lose a bunch of money in a lot of cases. And that's kind of where I've struggled to roll those credit spreads out. And then with increasing volatility, it just doesn't help when the volatility is increasing and the stocks are going down. And so then the premium prices are going up, which is not what you want when you are selling options. So we can also look at sort of the overall progress of the account. It's pretty sad, to be honest. Since the beginning of the year, sort of around March timeframe, I started making a little bit of money. I'd have some weeks where I'd make like 30, 40, $100 in realized profits. But then, I have some weeks where I lose 100, 400, and that's just wiping all those gains out. And so, I'm having small, steady progress in the upwards and then big setbacks. And those are just kind of keep going. So if we look basically so far in 2022, we've realized $2,500 of losses, which is pretty abysmal. Definitely hoping to turn that around a little bit. And if we could get profitable or breaking even on the year, I would be really happy with that. And honestly, I think that is a far reach at this point. But I think the ultimate goal is just to get better with options trading and have a better understanding of everything that goes into it, everything that goes into sort of the markets and options pricing, and all those things that factor into options pricings. And just kind of a better understanding of charts is something I would like to get a grasp on as well. So I think there's a lot of room for learning here. Obviously, since my account is not doing well, there's definitely a lot of room for learning and improvement. So if you guys do have any suggestions or resources you could point me to, I would definitely appreciate that. And let me know, how your options trading has been doing and sort of what strategies you've been using. Maybe I could get some ideas there as well. So just want to thank everyone for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.